If you've ever wondered what truly makes a woman think about you nonstop, this video will open your eyes. Stay till the very end because the last point changes everything about how women see you. Don't just watch, absorb it. Comment your location and hit subscribe if you're ready to become the man she can't forget. You see, when it comes to attraction, most men think women fall for the surface, the looks, the money, the status. But in truth, none of that sustains obsession. What truly captures a woman's mind is emotional imprint. It's the invisible mark you leave on her emotions. The feeling she gets every time your name crosses her mind. A woman doesn't become obsessed because she wants to. She becomes obsessed because her emotions have been stirred, triggered, and anchored to your presence in ways she can't fully understand or control. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how a song can instantly bring back memories from years ago? That's emotional imprint. It bypasses logic and hits directly at the emotional core. The same happens when a woman interacts with a man who knows how to make her feel. When she associates you with excitement, curiosity, laughter, or warmth, her brain starts linking your presence to pleasure. And once that link is established, she begins craving you, not just physically, but emotionally and psychologically. Now, this doesn't mean manipulation or playing games. It's about understanding emotional variety and openness, the rhythm between mistful and challenge, and no infert and challenge. If every interaction feels predictable, her emotional system goes numb. But when you give her moments that are fresh and stimulating, her brain releases dopamine, the same chemical responsible for desire and addiction. That's why a woman keeps thinking about the man who made her feel alive, even if he wasn't the most handsome or richest. He's carved a space in her emotional memory. Women are emotional processors. They decode your energy faster than your words. When you speak, she's not just listening to what you're saying, she's feeling who you are. Your tone, your calmness, your confidence, your subtle pauses, all these communicate something deeper. You can't fake this energy. You either have emotional control or you don't. And when you do, she feels it instantly. She feels safe, yet intrigued. She feels that sense of tension that keeps her coming back for more. To create that emotional imprint, you must first learn to be emotionally fluent. That means you're comfortable expressing a range of emotions, humor, empathy, playfulness, seriousness, without losing your composure. You can shift from light teasing to meaningful conversation effortlessly. This keeps her emotionally stimulated and grounded at the same time. It's not about being loud or overly expressive. It's about being authentic and responsive. When you listen to her stories, pay attention to the feelings behind her words. Reflect them back to her subtly. That must have felt frustrating. Or I can tell that really meant a lot to you. This kind of emotional attunement is rare, and rarity breeds obsession. But here's the deeper truth. Obsession starts when you become unpredictable in a meaningful way. Not inconsistent, not erratic, but dynamically interesting. You don't always respond the same way. Sometimes you tease, sometimes you go quiet and let the silence speak for you. Sometimes you give a compliment, other times you challenge her perspective. This emotional rhythm creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement, the same principle that keeps people hooked on social media or gambling. The unpredictability of reward keeps the brain engaged and desiring more. At the same time, your energy must remain grounded. A man who is centered, who doesn't chase, doesn't overreact, and doesn't try to impress, becomes psychologically magnetic. Why? Because women sense that he operates from abundance. He's not seeking validation. He's expressing presence. That calm confidence creates emotional safety, which paradoxically fuels curiosity. She starts asking herself, why isn't he affected like other men? And that question alone begins the cycle of obsession. You also need to understand that emotions aren't logical, they're chemical. When a woman feels an emotional high with you, maybe laughter, tension, desire, her brain releases dopamine. When you follow that with warmth or emotional connection, oxytocin is released, the bonding hormone. Together, these chemicals reinforce her attachment to you, even when you're not around. That's why emotional experiences outweigh physical attraction. You can't fight biology. You can only understand and master it. Most men never reach this level because they focus on tactics, not connection. They memorize lines, mimic confidence, or copy what worked for others. But real influence comes from emotional awareness, the ability to read energy and respond authentically. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real in a world full of pretense. That alone sets you apart. And here's the paradox. The more emotionally intelligent you become, the less you need to chase. You start noticing how naturally people are drawn to your presence. You stop trying to impress women and start expressing yourself. You create impact without effort because your energy speaks louder than words. Women feel it, even when they don't understand it. In the end, the key is simple. Don't aim to please, aim to connect. Don't aim to control, aim to inspire. When you become the man who knows how to make a woman feel, you don't need to pursue obsession. You become the experience she never wants to end. And that's the secret. When you master emotion, you master attraction. When you really think about what keeps a woman emotionally hooked, it's not just excitement or chemistry. It's emotional safety. A woman becomes obsessed with a man when she feels she can finally exhale around him, when she feels understood without having to explain herself. That's the kind of connection that touches her soul, not just her senses. You see, women live in an emotional world. They experience life through feelings, and those feelings guide every decision they make about who they let into their hearts. Now, here's where most men get it wrong. They think dominance, control, or confidence alone will make her stay. But confidence without emotional intelligence feels cold. Strength without warmth feels distant. A woman doesn't just want a man who can lead. She wants a man who sees her. Someone who can sit in her silence, sense her tension, and meet her emotions without judgment or panic. That is emotional safety. It's not about fixing her problems. It's about being the calm in her storm. When a woman feels emotionally safe with you, something incredible happens. Her guard drops. She starts to reveal the layers most people never see. She shares her insecurities, her fears, her childhood dreams, the parts of herself she hides from the world. And when you don't flinch, when you stay steady and present in that moment, her attachment to you deepens. You become more than a man. You become her emotional home. And once finds that, it's almost impossible for her to walk away. This is why listening is such a powerful skill, not the passive kind where you nod and wait for your turn to talk, but active listening where you tune into her tone, her body language, her pauses. You reflect what she feels. You show her that her emotions have a place with you. When she says she's tired, don't just tell her to rest. Ask what kind of day drained her. When she's upset, don't rush to solve it. Say, "That sounds like it really affected you." You're not agreeing or disagreeing, you're acknowledging. And that acknowledgement is validation. Psychologically, validation is one of the most addictive emotional experiences a woman can feel. It tells her, you're not crazy, you're understood. And the human brain craves that recognition. When you consistently give it, her nervous system begins to relax around you. She associates your presence with peace. And the more peace she feels with you, the more her mind ties you to emotional comfort. That's the foundation of attachment. Now, don't confuse being emotionally safe with being overly agreeable or submissive. It's not about saying yes to everything or avoiding conflict. It's about being steady, grounded in who you are, even when emotions get intense. A woman feels safest with a man who doesn't lose his balance when she loses hers. If she cries, he doesn't shut down. If she's angry, he doesn't mirror her chaos. He holds space, but he holds it with strength. That's the balance of masculine energy, calm, firm, and present. You see, emotional safety and attraction are not opposites. They complement each other. When a woman feels emotionally safe, her feminine energy flows freely. She becomes softer, more open, more playful. She lets her guard down because she trusts you won't use her vulnerability against her. That trust transforms her attraction from surface level to soul deep. She doesn't just want you, she needs you emotionally. And once that happens, she starts investing more of herself in you, often without even realizing it. Philosophically speaking, emotional safety is the bridge between love and obsession. Love says, I care about you. Obsession says, I can't stop thinking about you. The difference lies in how deeply her emotions are intertwined with yours. When she feels that emotional connection, where her peace, her happiness, and her emotional rhythm start aligning with yours, it becomes more than attraction. It becomes dependency. That's why it's so powerful. And also why it carries responsibility. The key is to maintain that emotional leadership. Don't abuse her vulnerability. Don't take her softness for granted. Protect the space you've built. When she opens up, guard it like something sacred. Because once a woman realizes that her emotions are safe with you, she gives you a level of loyalty, trust, and devotion that can't be bought or faked. She begins to see you not as an option, but as her emotional center. And remember this, emotional safety doesn't mean she'll never challenge you. It means she trusts you enough to do so. She'll test your consistency, your patience, your self-control. Not because she wants to break you, but because she wants to feel the strength of the man she's attaching her emotions to. If you stay calm and centered through those moments, you reinforce her trust. Each time she realizes you don't fold under emotional pressure, her respect for you multiplies. In a world full of men who want attention, be the man who gives peace. Be the one she can call when her mind is noisy, and your voice alone brings her calm. Because obsession isn't just about excitement, it's about emotional relief. The man who gives her both thrill and tranquility owns her focus completely, and that's what makes you unforgettable. When she feels safe enough to be herself, and excited enough to keep discovering you, you become more than just another man in her life. You become her emotional anchor. In the end, obsession doesn't come from intensity. It comes from consistency. Make her feel safe, and she'll never stop craving your presence. At the end of the day, what truly makes a woman obsessed isn't just how you make her feel, it's who you are when she's not around. Emotional imprint and emotional safety pull her in, yes, but what keeps her there is the realization that you're a man she simply can't replace. A man with purpose, presence, and depth. Because no matter how connected she feels, if she senses you have no direction, no mission, or no individuality, her attraction eventually fades. Women are drawn to men who move through life with vision. A man who doesn't just react to life, he creates it. You have to understand something fundamental about female psychology. Women are not just attracted to men they love. They are magnetically drawn to men they admire. Admiration is the foundation of long-term obsession. She has to look at you and think, there's something about him I can't fully grasp, but I want to be part of it. That's what keeps her curious, and curiosity is the heartbeat of desire. When a man knows who he is and what he stands for, he naturally commands respect. His presence feels different, grounded, confident, and intentional. He's not desperate for validation because he's fueled by purpose. His focus is not on impressing her, it's on expressing his truth. And that kind of self-assured energy radiates something primal. It speaks to her subconscious. This man has strength. This man can lead. This man can handle life. You don't have to be rich, famous, or the loudest in the room to embody this. You just need clarity. You need to wake up each day knowing what you're building and why. A man without a mission drifts. A man with purpose moves like he owns time, and women feel that difference. They can sense when a man is anchored by something deeper than pleasure or attention. They can sense when his life has momentum. That momentum is what separates the average man from the unforgettable one. But here's the subtle truth. Becoming irreplaceable isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentically evolving. Women are emotional creatures, but they're also intuitive observers. They watch how you handle pressure, how you respond to failure, how you treat people who can't offer you anything. Those moments reveal your character more than your words ever could. When she sees that your confidence isn't situational, that it's rooted in discipline, integrity, and vision, her respect deepens. And where there's deep respect, attraction turns into obsession. See, in every interaction, she's subconsciously asking herself one question. Can I follow this man's lead? She's not looking for dominance. She's looking for direction. She wants to feel that your presence makes her life richer, calmer, more meaningful. She wants to feel elevated by you, not drained. So if you want to become the man she can't replace, stop chasing her attention and start chasing your attention. Start chasing your evolution. The more you grow, the more she gravitates toward you. Think of it like gravity. A man with strong purpose and emotional composure becomes a gravitational force. He doesn't pull people in by he pulls them in by existing with intention. His silence speaks. His words carry weight. His decisions inspire confidence. That's the kind of energy that leaves an imprint long after you're gone. Philosophically speaking, obsession is the result of polarity, the dynamic dance between masculine and feminine energy. The feminine is drawn to stability, protection, and forward motion. The masculine is drawn to emotion, beauty, and expression. When you fully embody your masculine polarity, not through control, but through grounded certainty, you create balance, and that balance keeps her emotionally invested. It makes her feel alive in your presence and empty in your absence. But you can't fake masculine energy. It doesn't come from bravado or arrogance. It comes from inner discipline, from doing what you said you'd do, even when no one's watching. It comes from integrity, self-mastery, and self-respect. When you hold yourself to a higher standard, she feels it. It's in how you carry yourself, how you make decisions, how you handle setbacks. The moment she realizes you lead yourself with strength and grace, she starts to see you as the standard, the man every other man is compared to, and that's when obsession takes root. Never forget that women are emotional mirrors. They reflect the energy you project. If you bring chaos, they mirror uncertainty. If you bring purpose, they mirror admiration. So before you expect her to be drawn to you, make sure your own life gives her something to respect, something to look up to. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And here's the irony. The moment you stop needing her validation, you become magnetic. The man who doesn't chase is the man who gets chased, not because he plays games, but because he embodies self-worth. When you prioritize growth over attention, peace over approval, purpose over pleasure, you automatically become the rare man she fears losing. So, live with intention, speak with conviction, lead with integrity. Show up as the man who inspires trust, not because you demand it, but because you earn it through consistency and self-respect. When you become that man, you don't need to convince a woman to stay. She convinces herself that leaving would be a mistake. Because the truth is simple. A woman may like many men, but the obsesses over the one she could replace with him. Men of the life of who she could be when she's with him.